What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. It seems a court in Scotland hearing Joanna Cherry's appeal against a previous ruling on the prorogation of Parliament has now decided that Boris shutting down Parliament was unlawful, even though two judges had previously said it was a lawful act, one in Scotland and the other in the Supreme Court here in England. I am still waiting for some real reasoning behind this decision, which obviously the government is appealing, and that's going to be heard on Tuesday in the Supreme Court, so away from Scotland's heavily biased court system. Now, two things should be remembered here. First, the court, while finding the prorogation unlawful, has stopped short of suspending Parliament because I expect they know this ain't going to hold up when it gets appealed in an English court. And secondly, the hearing lasted for only 5 minutes. It was essentially a confirmation for the Remainers, not a court case under law, since no arguments or evidence was heard, which I am sure is a part of legal proceeding. The Victoria Derbyshire programme covered the breaking news, which we will look at a small clip from now. I'm
going to talk to Lorna Gordon, who is our correspondent who is inside the court. What is the reason that has been given by these judges, Lorna?
Yeah, well, we got a summary of their opinion in court. It was a very short hearing. It lasted just a few minutes. We're expecting their full judgment on Friday, but what it comes down to is this. The Lord President, in that summary, the Lord President, Lord Carloway, said that although the advice to Her Majesty the Queen on the exercise of the royal prerogative on proroguing or suspending Parliament was not reviewable on the normal grounds of judicial review, it would nevertheless be unlawful if its purpose was to stymie parliamentary scrutiny of the executive, which is a central pillar, he says, of the good governance principle enshrined in the Constitution. And that, in essence, is why these judges have ruled it's unlawful. Second of those three judges, Lord Brodie, said this is an egregious case of a clear failure to comply with generally accepted standards of behaviour of public authority. And then Lord Drummond Young, the third judge, says that the circumstances, particularly the length of the prorogation, showed that the purpose was to prevent such scrutiny. The only inference that can be drawn from the government's actions is that the government and the Prime Minister wish to restrict Parliament. Joanna Cherry and some of the other petitioners, of course, there was a group of more than 70 parliamentarians and peers who brought this case to the Court of Session here in Edinburgh, made some comments outside court after that hearing ended. She said she believed this was one of the most important judgments in centuries, she said. Talking about what they want to happen now is that they said that they're calling for Parliament to be recalled, if not by tomorrow, then by Monday at the latest, ahead of that Supreme Court hearing.
Well, like I said and you heard there, the case was heard in less than 5 minutes, no evidence was shown, but these judges have managed to rule against a previous judge from the same court and the decision made by the Supreme Court judge last week. How is that due legal process? I will never know. And also, how have these idiots not realised the Supreme Court has already chucked out Gina Miller's case on the exact same grounds that this one was first chucked out? So this is all nonsense in my opinion. I would say I'm shocked that the courts are taking part in this, but nothing really surprises me these days. Now, as I said at the start of the video, everyone needs to remember that this will not immediately affect the current suspension of Parliament, regardless of what Twitter lunatics might say. Boris will still keep the status quo unless Jeremy is prepared to go for a general election, which I highly doubt Corbynated chicken has grown a pair yet, let's be honest. The reason why this won't affect the current suspension is because no order was given by the court to cancel the suspension as it stands ahead of a full hearing at the Supreme Court, which starts on Tuesday of next week. I mean, we won't even get the full ruling from this case today until Friday, so a 5-minute case will take them like 2-3 days to sort out, yeah? Get real. What I do find funny is the fact that these judges have worded their reasoning well. The Court of Session judges said they were unanimous in their belief that Mr Johnson's decision to suspend was motivated by the improper purpose of stymieing Parliament, making it unlawful in their belief. Belief being the very selective wording used here, because they know it is not really the case. John Major prorogued Parliament for 6 weeks in 1997, regardless of what the media might say. That was simply to cover up the cash for questions scandal, so a deeply political and also scandalous reason if you ask me. Where was the SNP calling for that to be cancelled back then? Where was the judicial reviews? Where was Labour MPs screaming from the rooftops? Oh yeah, there was none of them because they were all likely fucking involved with it. So what do I think about this nonsense? I think it's going to get to the Supreme Court and they're going to do the same as what they did with Gina Miller. They'll get rid of it because it's nonsense. It's prerogative power. The government has the power to prorogue Parliament, especially for a Queen's speech, regardless of when it is. It's up to them. There's not been one for 2.5 years. That is the end of it. This is just more nonsense. The fact that the court have allowed this through is just silly. It's unbelievable. It really is. But it would be unbelievable if we weren't living in 2019 and the current situations we find ourselves in. Well, I'm going to end the video there, guys. I want to thank the channel's PayPal, Patreon and Subscribestar members for supporting the channel, who are all linked down in the description. Well, guys, well, I'm going to end the video there, guys. I want to thank the channel's PayPal, Patreon and Subscribestar members who are linked in the video description for supporting the channel, along with everyone who watches my videos. Let me know what you guys think about this nonsense down in the comment section below. Leave a like, subscribe with the notification bell and share this video as it helps the channel a lot. And I will see you all in the next one.
Snoop Margie Marg, Snoop Margie Marg.